Welcome to One and Only, your favorite, Proverbs on Demand. Today's proverb is, imitation is the sincerest form of flattery. It's a great proverb. It is introspective and has deep meaning. The phrase, imitation is the sincerest form of flattery, means that copying someone or something is an implicit way of paying them a compliment. In other words, when someone is trying to imitate what one does, owns, or thinks, it's a compliment to that person. Words of flattery may not be sincere, but action which is imitation is sincere. Who wouldn't be flattered if someone imitates them in some way? It is another way to say that copying is a compliment, or imitation is admiration. In any form of inflection, it means the same thing. In the words of Oscar Wilde, imitation is the sincerest form of flattery that mediocrity can pay to greatness. It essentially means that if any imitation is going to happen, let the mediocre imitate you. Everything we become begins with imitation. As babies we imitate our parents, siblings and others in our immediate environment. At first we don't understand that what we are doing actually has meaning. Then one day we have that Helen Keller moment when we realize that the series of hand movements spells water. A whole new world opens up for us as we learn to create our own messages and take our own actions. Critical in these early years are the role models around us. They are the norm in our small world and establish many patterns for how human beings treat each other, mother and father, parent and child, sibling and sibling, neighbor and neighbor, teacher and student. At some point along the way, we may realize that there is a larger world out there and there are vast variations in how human beings relate. This creates a bit of confusion. We are faced with a choice, largely unconscious, of whether to continue acting as our original role models or, rejecting them, adopt an entirely new set of behaviors, or create a synthesis of the old and new. And so it is that every human being is a role model for every other human being and, connecting back to our proverb for the day, we each are imitators. We look to others to make the choices which guide our behavior. Why is it that some of us choose some very poor role models? Why can't we see how some behavior is destructive, stagnant, self-serving, thoughtless, lazy or whatever? I believe that it is because negative behaviors are actually easier choices to make, requiring little thought and marginally active conscience. There are good role models if we have the discretion to identify them. They are all around us. They are not perfect role models 24/7, but we can take note of their shining moments. Character is best seen in the little things. Sure, it is easy to see goodness in the spectacular. Human beings can be quite dense, and sometimes the only thing that gets our attention is the dramatic, blockbuster personality. If imitation is the sincerest form of flattery, we need to ask what we are imitating. We might also watch carefully to observe how the role model responds to the flattery of imitation. Is our imitation merely feeding their ego? It is a good sign when the flattery of imitation brings joy and love and peace into the world. Thank you so much for your time. Please subscribe to get new proverbs daily. Like and share if you want. Have a good day.